All right, good morning, traders. Today is August 12th, 2024. My name is John Kerrigan. I moderate the BYOB trading room. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody out there in digital land. Thank you to all my new subscribers on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you. My SPY pivot this morning is 530.72. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. All of the Fab Five remain in downtrends. They are challenging that downtrend though. SPY, all closed with higher highs and higher lows, closing near their 8 EMAs, most of them over their 8 EMAs, but underneath the 17 EMAs. So they're challenging that downtrend. SPY closed with a 2-hour uptrend and a 10-minute uptrend. Gold still in an uptrend, made a higher high and a higher low, closing over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. I can see a windup happening there in gold. SLV still in a downtrend, made a higher high and a higher low, closing inside a bearish trap under the falling 17. UNG still in a downtrend, made an inside day, closing over a bullish trap and over the falling 17 EMA. So you can see gold and silver and petroleum and UNG, natural gas, all challenging those downtrends, especially on the 17s. They're getting close to crossing over them. USO still in a downtrend, made a higher high, just like UNG and SLV. All right, a higher high and a higher low, closing over bullish traps and the falling 17 EMA. US dollar index still in a downtrend, closed near the 103.15 area. All right, let's go take a look at some charts. Good morning, Emma, Lenny G, JW, and Stefan. All right, first chart we'll look at is SPY. Let's look at it on the 10. All right, so 10-minute chart, we had 3, that's the yellow line, 3 EMA on top of the white. That's the 8 EMA. So we have a 10-minute uptrend going into close right there. 2-hour chart. We have nice 2-hour trend started right here. See if they can continue that. 2-hour uptrend going on right there. So 2-hour uptrend, 10-minute uptrend. Daily still in a downtrend till they break this high right there. So a lot of work to be done. But you can see right here, price action from the high to the low, looking pretty close to the midpoint. Yep, we're over it. So SPY closing over the midpoint right there. So nice work on SPY right there. So you can see SPY yesterday's price, Friday's price action, higher low, higher high, closing above the bearish trap, but underneath that falling 17 EMA. Okay, so probably coming into an area that's the midpoint where there's typical consolidation coming through here. All right, so maybe consolidate for 2 or 3 days. Once they get up on top of that midpoint, see if they can hold that area at least for 2 days. Hopefully if they get 3, I'm looking for a breakout to the upside. So there's SPY on the daily chart. Sad to say, still in a downtrend right there. Okay, but nice recovery right there for part of it. See, now comes the hard part. It's the last half to get up over that. So we'll see what happens. All right, so there's SPY. Let's take a look at QQQ. And here's the NASDAQ. Kind of the same candle going on QQQ as we had in SPY. You can see higher low, higher high, closing over the bearish trap, but underneath the falling 17 EMA. QQQ still in a downtrend till they break this high right here on that big red candle down. Okay, so still in a downtrend. FNGU, again, still in a downtrend till they break this candle high. FNGU, you can see back here closing over the midpoint. So you had like SPY closing over the midpoint, QQQ closing over the midpoint, FNGU closing over the midpoint. So now I want to see some consolidation, okay? You got the higher ground. I want to see you hold the higher ground right now, okay? So that's FNGU, all right? So you can see price action pretty much the same as SPY and QQQ. Higher low, higher high, closing above a bearish trap and underneath the 17 EMA, falling 17, okay? Got to consolidate and kind of melt up through this 17 so we can get that uptrend going on. So there's FNGU. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Same deal. Higher low, higher high on Friday, closing over the bearish trap, but underneath the 17 EMA. IWM. All right, IWM squeaks out a higher low and a higher high, closing inside bearish trap and under falling 17 EMA. So there's IWM. A lot of damage done on IWM in those 3 days there. Well, probably not last week, but week before, you know, with that fallout right there. So there's IWM. IWM in a downtrend. Now they got to break this high up here, okay, because they took out the low right there. So now they got to break this high. So tall order for IWM to bring price all the way back up there. Let's take a look at our technicals. All right, so you can see we chopped around on Friday, making an inverse head and shoulders right here. Chopped around on Friday for T2122 in the seller's chop zone. Pretty much stayed out of the sell zone. This would be the sell zone. This would be the oversold zone, okay? So just making an inverse head and shoulders. Like to see some follow through with that. Break those necklines and get that thing going back up in the other direction. All right, that's T2122. T2123, as you can see, kind of flat. All right, more red than green. All right, so more selling than buying going on right there. And still underneath this 200 SMA that seems to be rolling over, all right? Need to find a double bottom. That's the rubber band candle right there. We're still not below that rubber band candle, so I still have hope for the market, but they're coming dangerously close to breaking the rubber band candle there on T2123. T2123 3 bar. Again, we printed 3 more red candle bars. Again, it's in the same spot. There is the rubber band candle. So maybe they make it, maybe they pull all the way back to this 200 and then bounce. I don't know. I really don't want to see them break that rubber band candle. But they're getting dangerously close to breaking it. So that's T2123 3 bar. All right, again, 3 more red candle bars right there, heading back towards a kind of a rising flat to rising 200 SMA there. FNGU, all right, for Friday's price action, green, red, and green right into the end of the day. Closing up over that falling 200 SMA. It's what I wanted to see happen a few days ago, right here. Then we had a kind of a pause, and we pulled back one more time. Kind of tested those lows to see if they're going to hold. And after they saw those lows hold, you can see they started working their way back up towards the falling 200. All right, so now I want to see us consolidate on top of that falling 200. Finally filled the gap. Here's the gap down that they failed to fill here, and they failed to fill it on the 8th, and finally they did it on the 9th. All right, got another gap over here. Okay, I want to see them hold the ground and start filling these gaps. So here's another gap overhead for FNGU. All right, so I want to see them hold the ground, hold the higher ground, hold the area over this falling 200, get this thing hooking back in the other direction. So there's FNGU. Let's take a look at a few sectors real quick and take a look at SMH. All right, SMH still in a downtrend, making lower highs and lower lows. Till they break that high, SMH still in a downtrend. All right, so trying to fight it off, but got to get up on the other side of that 17. SMH in a downtrend. XLK still in a downtrend. Still a lot of work to be done. Got to break that high right there. All right. XLI. It's our industrials. Industrials got to break this high up here, way up here. Long road for them to go. Price action still in a downtrend because they broke the lows. All right, so there's XLI. Let's take a look at XRT. XRT got a lot of work to do till they break these highs up here. Okay, XRT still in a downtrend. So we got XLI in a downtrend, XLK in a downtrend, SMH in a downtrend. Let's take a look at XLF. XLF is in a downtrend till they come back and break these highs. Still in a downtrend for XLF. They are fighting this downtrend off. Okay, like to see them hold the higher ground up here. We'll see what happens on all those sectors. So we had the industrials, we had the technology, we had the retail sector, which was XRT. And let's take a look. This is financials. All right, last one to look at, IYT. This is transportation. Transportation, wow, they took out this low, this low, this low, this low, and this low right here. A lot of damage done on IYT. All right, they were in a nice uptrend till they lost all those lows. All right, so IYT in a downtrend until they break that high right there. That big breakdown candle high, they got to break up over that and hold that ground up there for IYT to get back into an uptrend. So there's transports. So you can see all of those sectors are still in downtrends. Let's go take a look at precious metals. Okay, we got silver. Silver's still in a downtrend till they break this high right here. Okay, silver still in a downtrend. Friday's price action. Little higher low, little higher high, closing inside the bearish trap under the falling 17 EMA. I think silver's going to pop. Looked like we got the double bottom here, held 3 days above. I think it's pretty close for time for silver to have a pop. Got to get through. See this wedge right there? Got to get above that wedge. I wouldn't doubt it if they trade up to that wedge sometime today or tomorrow. So 2608 would be on my target for SLV for today or tomorrow right there, just before CPI. So there's silver. Silver's still in a downtrend. GLD, gold, is still in an uptrend. All right, so gold making a higher low. Pressure on the bulls to make the higher high. Looking at a wind up here on gold. All this back and forth, back and forth. It's looking like it's winding up for a nice pop breakout. Where could it go? Measured move takes us, I don't know. Let's take a look at that. Let's duplicate that. Don't know if we get a full measured move from this, but we could. See where the potential for gold to go is. All right, so we got a potential for a measured move for gold all the way up to 250, 280. Okay, that's our measured move. I can see a wind up happening here. Or higher, maybe even higher. We'll see. But that's the wind up for gold. Going to move this out of the way now that we got the measured move mapped out. Just leave it over here. Okay, price action for Friday. Make sure I got the right candle. Okay, higher low, higher high. Closing over the bullish trap, over the 17 EMA. Okay, gold winding up. Nice bullish wind up there on GLD. All right, let's take a look at UNG. UNG was in a downtrend just a couple weeks ago. They were making all-time new lows. So there's UNG fighting off that downtrend. And price action for UNG was an inside day, closing over a bullish trap, fighting off a falling 17 EMA right there. Okay. UNG won't be in an uptrend till they take out that high right there. So they got to take out 1523 to change their downtrend status. That's UNG. Let's take a look at USO. USO also still in a downtrend, and they're coming close to taking out this high right here, and that would put them in an uptrend. Friday's price action, higher low, higher high, closing over the bullish trap, kind of like UNG, and over this falling 17 EMA. So USO trying to fight off that downtrend. So energy looking like it's ready for a bounce. Precious metals, gold is doing well. Silver didn't quite get the memo yet. I think the memo's coming today or tomorrow. We'll see what happens, but that's what I'm looking at. I see 3 days of silver holding that double bottom there, so I think maybe it bounces back to put the quad lines in and probably close to the third. We'll see what happens with that. That's USO. I just covered UNG. Let's go take a look at our economic calendar this morning. All right, so for the economic calendar, let me just say the main event is Wednesday at 8:30 in the morning before the market opens, and it's going to be the Consumer Price Index, aka inflation, inflationary pressure. Today, what's going on today? I don't see anything going on today that could squash the markets. What's going on tomorrow? PPI final demand at 8:30. NFIB Small Business Optimism Index at 6 in the morning, and a Fed speaker at 1:15, but it's not Mr. Powell. So not a heavy day tomorrow. The heavy day is coming Wednesday. CPI at 8:30, petroleum report 10:30, and that's it for Wednesday. So usually after CPI comes, guess what? Usually there's a Fed meeting way on the next side of next week, all right? Pretty much right after they get CPI, there's usually a Fed meeting, all right? And then somebody's going to make an announcement. We'll see what happens. Thursday, what do we got? Jobless claims, 8:30. Retail sales, 8:30. Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, 8:30. Empire State Manufacturing Index, 8:30. Import-export prices, 8:30. Got a Fed speaker, 9:10. Industrial production, 9:15. Housing market index, 10 o'clock. Business inventories, 10 o'clock. And a natural gas report at 10:30. Pretty much every Thursday. Wednesday, you get the petroleum report. That's also at 10:30 on Wednesday. Not going to go over Friday. We're not even close enough to it yet. But you can see, even though Thursday's got a heavy amount of data coming in, it doesn't compare to the CPI that's coming in on Wednesday. That will wreak a lot of havoc depending upon if that comes in hot or cool. We'll see what happens. That's Wednesday on that's the 14th, all right? Couple days away, not too far. Earnings calendar, what do we got? Not much happening. Just some familiar names, nothing that's going to move the markets around. Not like a Meta, a Google, or a Microsoft. Home Depot, they're going to report $345 billion. That'll affect the home builder sector. All right, they're going to report in the morning tomorrow. All right, other than that, again, some more familiar names. Wednesday, Cisco Systems, $184 billion. Okay, that'll affect the retail sector. They deliver to a lot of restaurants. All right, so there's $184 billion there on Wednesday. Again, nothing that's really going to rock and roll the markets. Not like CPI or Google earnings or Apple earnings, okay? UBS, That's a bank. They're going to report about 100 billion there. In the morning on Wednesday, Cisco reports in the evening. So remember Wednesday was our CPI, and there'll be a lot of movement and volatility coming into CPI on Wednesday. Thursday, what do we got? Walmart's going to report 544 billion, aka half a trillion. They're going to report in the morning after the CPI was reported Wednesday. All right, so that should be interesting. Alibaba's going to report in the evening on Thursday, 195 billion. Applied Materials, 157 billion. And again, some familiar names. JD.com, you got Deere, Nice, Coherent, all familiar names. H&R Block, but nothing that's going to move the markets like maybe like a Walmart or something big. Okay, so Friday, what do we got here? Some again familiar names. Nothing that's going to rock and roll the markets. Monday, Palo Alto Networks. They're going to report 107 billion there. They're going to report Monday evening. All right. Again, the main event is going to be Wednesday on the 14th. CPI early in the morning, 8:30. All right. So that'll be the big day, Wednesday. So we hit the economic calendar. Max Pain for today. They're saying max pain is 532. Think we're already there. All right. Put the call ratio is little over 1 2/3 puts for every call. Could be a short squeeze today. We'll see what happens. I'd like to see them move up, kind of hold the area up over that midpoint. All right. So let's take a look at U.S. dollar index. Kind of like we're getting Green Day again today. Friday we closed right here, right around 103.15, and looks like we're already bullish again this morning. Okay, U.S. dollar index still in a downtrend. Why? Because it's making lower highs and lower lows, and lower highs and lower lows. Now I wanted to see this bull flag down here. Okay, it's very possible it's going to H pattern rollover right here at the 200 SMA. We'll see what it wants to do. So there's U.S. dollar index still in a downtrend. All right. Got a little bit of follow through to that big candle down, but it's not looking like enough to hold this off. They keep going. They could climb up this breakup candle down. So we'll see what happens. All right, traders, I'm going to take a break. First, I'll answer questions. If not, I'm going to come back at 9:15, and we're going to kick off the market, try to come up with a decent trade this morning. Again, I'm just looking for consolidation, a little bit higher, but consolidate over the 50-yard line of the quad. So we'll see what that winds up looking like. All right. So good morning to everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you to everybody that made it to the workshop. Hope I helped you out. If you got any questions, again, you guys know my email. Barry, what's the 5 bulls and 5 bears about? That's a list I come up with. These are, let me see if I can find it again. All right. 5 bulls, 5 bears. All right. These are stocks that have been kind of bullish uptrends, and these are stocks that are bearish downtrends. All right. Now I get this list based off of the balance of power. All right. So I'm just going to take this, and what am I going to do? Let's move this down, and let's take this and do that. And let's take this and move it over here, okay? Going to be hard to read for everybody, but it's right there. Okay, so now I'm going to take my list, and you'll see ASTS. It's been on the 5 bulls, 5 bears, I think, for about 2 weeks now. Well, at least back in July. Okay, so it's bullish. You got an uptrend. Me, I like to play the 2-hour uptrends, especially when I'm swing trading. Okay, red takes out green on a 2-hour uptrend. That's when I want in. As soon as, green takes out red on a 2-hour uptrend, that's when I want in. All right, so you got a 2-hour uptrend. You can see it's definitely in a daily uptrend. I think it's about to challenge the all-time highs up here. Okay, I'd be surprised they get this high and don't take out the all-time high. But there's an uptrend right there. So it made my list. And on the balance of power, you can see the balance of power is moving up because the top line is green. All right. So there's ASTS. Got some more on here. RCM. That's the next one. In an uptrend, I like to play those 2-hour uptrends right there. So RCM in an uptrend right there. And on the balance of power, pull it up. Okay, just kind of rolling over red today or yesterday, but all in all, holding the ground over the support. Okay, you see all these peaks? Okay, that was obviously resistance because every time we ran into one of those peaks, okay, we lost the higher ground. We came up, we lost it. We came up, we lost it. Okay, and we came up here and we couldn't quite hold for 3 days. See that? Couldn't quite hold for 3 days. Guess what? We're now holding for 3 days. All right, so that's a good sign. Probably looking for a breakout soon if they can continue to hold that ground for 3 days. Next one down, RCM, Zeta. ZETA. All right, again, nice uptrend. All right, I like to see the balance of power moving in the upward direction. Okay, another one, Lumen, LUMN. Okay, really nice. See the balance of power up at 100. See that rip? See how the balance of power grows? It's kind of leading you right into this rip. You know, if you'd have caught this like right here, $1.75. Let's say you missed a lot of this and you got it at 250. All right, 250 all the way up to, I don't know. Let's say you don't get the top. Let's say you get it on the second day, up to $6. That's still a 2-bagger inside of what, 2 or 3 days. That's not bad. You get 200% inside of 2 or 3 days. So I watch these. This is what I watch. So those are the bulls, all right? Now I'll go over the bears. First one, Path. All right, so you can see Path obviously in a daily downtrend. All right. It's been underneath there for a long time. MRK. Another downtrend. All right. It's another one in there. Celsius Holdings. All right. See a nice downtrend right through there. Dell. Downtrend. SMCI. Off of those highs. Downtrend. Airbnb. Downtrend. Okay. Does that help answer your question, Barry? So those are my bears downtrends, bulls uptrends. Yeah. So I look for, an opportunity to, sell short right near resistance. All right. Selling short near support is not good. Look for it to get up near resistance and then show you bears stepping in. Okay, it's the same thing we do when we trade intraday. Okay, you want to see it near resistance and then bears step in. That's what you want to see. Hey, good morning, Jade. Hey, welcome to the group. John Mitchell. Earnings today, yep, it does have earnings. Some of them have earnings. I don't watch the earnings. I'm just saying that these, from my balance of power and the chart with the 17, I don't follow the earnings. I'm just saying they're in uptrends or downtrends. Right. RCM is a takeover target. Didn't know that. It has an uptrend. And that's what counts, right? That could very well bounce higher. We'll see. Some of them you never know. The stockholders or the board wants more, so we'll see. But they're moving higher, so they made my list. Yeah. Oh, the takeover price is $14.30, so they've already been purchased. Thanks for letting me know, JW. I did not know that. Usually when they come out flat like this, they pop up and they go flat. I pretty much look at them and say, you've been hanging out here for a week or 2 weeks. And I say, let me go see if you were a takeover target. And I check them out then. Thanks for letting me know. All right. All right, traders, I'll be back in 45 minutes. Don't forget, the main event is Wednesday. Lots of volatility coming Wednesday morning, 8:30. All right? So I'll come back in about 45 minutes and we'll kick this day off.